What other questions are there?
I think kind of our last question is kind of related to like just what people have questions about right as they're coming into Bonner and wanting to know what the experience is like. They always want to know about, what the day-to-day experience is, so doing, what their internship looks like, but then also what the academic experience looks like. So we have on our website that the certificate of community engagement is required, and so people want to know, is it a minor, is it a major, what do they have to do for that?
How about if I talk about certificate and FSEM a little bit,
Yeah.
and then you can talk about the internship?
Perfect.
Cool. So the certificate, it's basically a minor. It's called our Certificate of Community Engagement. And all of our Bonners are required to enroll in the Certificate of Community Engagement and to complete it by the time they graduate. It's basically 4 courses that you'll take over your time at Stetson. We try as much as possible to make those courses that you'd already be getting in your major or your minors, or certainly the BONNER FSEM would count for some of those too. But the certificate is meant to get any student, Bonner or non-Bonner, who's enrolled in the certificate to figure out how they can connect their academic interests with needs in the community and ideally with their career interests as well. So Bonners all take the certificate, and we make sure that the BONNER FSEM counts for the certificate requirements. And we've got even some students who help us research other potential certificate courses, so that if there's not a course that is certificate approved right now, but we think that it should be, we work with the professor and students and everyone to get that to count. So that's one thing to expect. And speaking about the BONNER FSEM, so the BONNER FSEM is really a course that's focused on because you're taking it your very first semester at Stetson in the BONNER program. This builds the foundation, at least the theoretical foundation, if not the moral foundation and some of the experiential foundation for the work that you'll do in Bonner and at Stetson and for the rest of your time here. So we focus on topics that relate to personal and social responsibility, power, privilege, and policies, and how different policies and laws can affect our ability to do things in communities, and how they might give artificial preferences or power or privilege to some people and lead to the oppression of other people, and how we're able to, this is like really my favorite part, how we're able to identify the different levers we can pull to make the change we want to see in our communities, whether that's through lobbying or through elections or changing laws, or if it's through organizing, or if it's through research or internships, or the many sorts of things that Bonner students might do through the work that they're doing during their time in Bonner and after graduation as well. So that's a little bit about the FSEM. The content changes and the texts might change a little bit every year, but the flavor is that it's focused on justice and how we get there. How we define it, how we get there together, what we're all bringing to the table, so that we can leverage each other's strengths and work around each of our weaknesses. Because whenever you're involved in trying to get somewhere together, you have to have that self-awareness of what you're really good at and what you're really terrible at. Because if you're, for example, like me, sometimes I deprioritize administrative responsibilities, but I look for people on my team who are able to, who are very, very good with some of those administrative responsibilities. And so, Taylor, what's something that you're really terrible at?
So public speaking makes me very, very nervous. This video actually was a lot, but yeah. But I have people around me that really remind me and help me stay calm and everything, so yeah.
And who make it conversational.
Yeah.
Like this. Da-da-da. So that's a lot of what the FSEM is about, is helping everyone figure out how they fit into this enterprise of achieving justice in our communities, whatever that may look like. And questioning our values and beliefs and those sorts of things too that we're bringing in, and interrogating them, and sometimes discarding them, sometimes keeping them with even more strength now, because they've been our grip on those ideas, those marbles we would say, has been strengthened through the crucible of conversation and interrogation that they've been put through. So that's a bit about the curricular side, the certificate of community engagement and the FSEM. What about the internship?
Yeah, so putting those values into action and cementing what's really important. That's the Bonner internship. So we have students that work at a variety of different sites across issue areas. So if you're passionate about education, economic development, health, the environment, any issue that you're passionate about, we probably have a partner who is working to advance that issue and to address challenges in our community. And our Bonners are doing capacity building work. They are doing fundraising, volunteer management, training, all sorts of different project coordination and developing different things for that partner. And they're listening to needs in the community to figure out where a community need aligns with those strengths that you were talking about.
Yes.
And they're not doing more harm than good by trying to do things that they're really terrible at or that the community doesn't need. They're doing things that align really well.
Yeah. It's fun to see everything when it clicks together. And I think one of the most beautiful parts of the Bonner program experience is that you can have a great internship outside of Bonner. You could have a great classroom experience outside of Bonner. You could have a great career development opportunity outside of Bonner. But Bonner brings all of those things together so they become the best versions of themselves, and when working together, you're more likely to get that job that you want after graduation, or get into that graduate program that you want to get into after graduation, because you have 4 years of experience doing that thing that you love already. You have a wealth of knowledge gained from your classroom experiences, from your talented professors, and especially from our community partner supervisors, who are just as important as your professors for your development and growth, because they know so much more than any of us do at the university.
They're on the ground,
yeah.
And they can help you connect those dots and tie that clear thread, and they help you really understand what you're learning and putting that into action.
Yeah.
Our partners are the best.
They are.
Yeah.
So those are, we think, probably the questions we get asked most often. Any others that are really up there for you?
I don't think so, but if you do have a question, please email us at bonner@stetson.edu, and one of us will happily get back to you as soon as possible. So.
Probably Taylor. Bye, friends.
Thank you.